Hey everyone! Let's break down everything we know about Columbina. And I mean everything. There's been so much confusing information floating around the community that I think it's time to separate what's true from fiction. Let me tell you what's actually confirmed, what we can reasonably expect from her kit, and when she's dropping, because honestly, some of the stuff we're hearing could completely change the meta, especially if you're planning to pull for Lauma or Durin. So first things first, when is Columbina actually coming? Based on multiple reliable leakers who've been tracking the character roadmaps, she's locked in for version 6.3, and specifically the first half of that patch. We're looking at around early 2026 for her release, which puts her roughly 6 months away from where we are now. The leak comes from trusted sources who've had solid track records with character schedules before, so I'm pretty confident in this timeline. What this actually means for players is that you've got plenty of time to save Primogems. We're talking about enough time to guarantee getting her even if you're starting from 0 primos right now. The character schedule leading up to her release is also pretty interesting when you think about the bigger picture. We've got Lauma, Flins, and Ino dropping in 6.0 to introduce us to Nod-Krai, then Nefer Solo in 6.1, followed by Durin and Jehoda in 6.2, and finally Columbina as the big 6.3 release. That's classic Hoyoverse pacing. They're building up the region's roster first, then hitting us with what's probably going to be the most powerful and most anticipated character. It's the same strategy they used with Natlan, where they established the region's identity and mechanics first, then dropped the character everyone was waiting for. Now here's where things get really exciting. Her actual kit details. From what we're seeing in the most recent leaks, Columbina is confirmed to be a Hydro character who uses a catalyst weapon. The leakers are telling us she's designed as a hybrid character who can function as both a main DPS and as off-field support for your team, which is honestly incredible versatility that we rarely see in Genshin. Her entire kit is built around something called the Song of the Welkin Moon, and from what we understand, this ties directly into her character as someone who uses music and lunar powers to fight. Her elemental skill is expected to provide that consistent off-field hydro application that's so crucial for reaction-based teams, while her elemental burst is where the big damage numbers come in. The whole concept sounds like a perfect blend of support utility and raw DPS potential. But here's where Columbina gets really interesting. She's designed specifically to work with the new Lunar-Reaction system that's coming with Nod-Krai. We're getting 2 main types that we know of so far, Lunar Bloom and Lunar Charged, and both of them sound absolutely broken in the best possible way. Lunar Bloom is basically a supercharged version of the regular Bloom reaction, but with a crucial difference. It can actually crit. Think about what that means for damage potential. Then there's Lunar Charged, which improves on the standard electro-charged reaction. Instead of just the continuous electro damage and small interruptions we're used to, Lunar Charged creates a thundercloud that continuously unleashes bursts of lightning on enemies affected by both electro and hydro. And just like Lunar Bloom, this reaction can crit, which means the damage scaling could be absolutely insane with the right builds. What's really crazy about Columbina specifically is that the leaks suggest she might be able to enable these lunar reactions universally. She's apparently going to have incredible synergy with Lauma, who's the new Dendro support character coming in 6.0. There's also some really interesting information about her pairing with Durin, who's supposed to be a pyro character with capabilities similar to Zhangling. If this pans out, we could be looking at some absolutely ridiculous vaporized team compositions. Imagine having a character who can provide consistent off-field hydro application while also being capable of dealing massive main DPS damage, paired with a pyro support who can enable consistent vaporize reactions. The damage ceiling for those teams could be through the roof. The power level we're hearing about is honestly pretty wild. Multiple reliable sources are saying she's going to have archon-level impact. And that's not language that gets thrown around lightly in the leaking community. We're potentially looking at someone who could completely change the meta. What I'm most confident about based on these leaks from multiple sources, she's definitely Hydro Catalyst, she's definitely releasing in 6.3 first half, her kit is built around music theme, and she's designed to work with the new Lunar Reaction system. The core concept seems locked in based on how consistent the information has been across different leakers and different timeframes. If you're planning to pull for Columbina, this is honestly the perfect time to start preparing. With the 6.3 release date, you've got plenty of time to save up Primogems, especially if you're strategic about which of the earlier Nod-Krai characters you pull for. Based on everything we're hearing about her power level, versatility, and potential meta impact, she could easily be one of those must-pull characters like Farina and Mavika. Just remember that while the core information seems reliable, some specific details will probably change as we get closer to her actual release. Subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more updates. Don't forget to like the video. See you next time!